The most dangerous addiction in the world is not drugs, not alcohol, and not gambling. The most dangerous addiction is other people. We call it by the beautiful word, love. We say, I can't live without him. I feel her pain as my own. I worry about my children so much my heart stops. It seems to us that this is the highest virtue. We were taught that a good person is one who suffers for others. But let's be honest. If you see a drowning man and overwhelmed by feelings, you jump in to save him without knowing how to swim or clinging to him in a death grip out of fear. You both drown. A lifeguard who cries along with the victim is useless. A surgeon whose hands shake with pity for the patient is a killer. What we are used to calling strong love or deep empathy is, in 90% of cases, disguised neurosis, control, and fear of loneliness. This is not love. This is a hostage situation. Today we will talk about the most difficult skill a human can master. Buddhists call it Karuna, compassion, but not the sweet compassion we are used to. We will talk about compassion without attachment, about how to love people with the power of the sun, but not burn out when they leave, about how to be near someone else's pain without letting it destroy you. This is the path of the Bodhisattva, and it is the only way to keep your sanity in a world full of suffering. Let's start with the anatomy of your suffering. Remember a moment when a loved one was in pain. What happened to you? Your body tightened. A heavy, sticky lump appeared in your chest. Thoughts began to run in circles. How can I help? What if it gets worse? I have to do something. You stopped sleeping. You called every 5 minutes. You effectively got infected with their state. Psychologists call this empathic distress. You are not helping the person carry their load. You just lie down under that load next to them, and now there are two of you crushed. The Buddha said, attachment is the root of all suffering. But here a giant misunderstanding arises. People hear the word non-attachment and imagine an icy wall. They think, aha, so I shouldn't care about anyone. I should sit in the lotus position and watch indifferently as my mother dies. No, this is a trap. Indifference is the near enemy of non-attachment. In Buddhism, every virtue has an obvious enemy, cruelty, and a secret enemy that masquerades as the virtue. Indifference masquerades as calmness. But true non-attachment is not cold. It is fire. Imagine the sun. The sun shines on everyone. It shines on saints and murderers. It shines on flowers and garbage heaps. The sun doesn't care if you thank it or not. If you close the curtains and hide in the basement, the sun won't be offended. It won't say, is that so? Then I won't shine on this ungrateful person anymore. And it won't run after you into the basement, trying to break down the door to inflict good on you. It just continues to be itself. It gives warmth. This is Bodhisattva love. Our ordinary human love is more like a deal at the market. I give you warmth, but you must A. Be near. B. Behave as I want. C. Love me back. As soon as a condition is violated, love turns into hate or anxiety. This is not love. This is sticky attachment. This is an investment on which we demand dividends. Why is it so hard to love unconditionally? Because we don't feel whole. We use other people as crutches for our ego. If a child does poorly in school, the mother feels pain not for the child, but for herself. I am a bad mother. If a partner leaves, we hurt not because they will be bad without us, but because I am now alone, my value has dropped. We do not attach to the person. We attach to the feeling of comfort and safety that they give us. A bodhisattva is one who has found the source within. They don't need to feed on other people's emotions. They are overflowing, and therefore their love is safe. It doesn't suffocate. Have you noticed how hard it is to be around an anxious mother or a jealous spouse? Their love feels like a noose around your neck. They love you so much that you can't breathe. And have you noticed how easy it is to be around a wise person? They look at you, they see you, they are ready to help, but they don't hold you. There is a great metaphor used by Zen master Ajahn Chah. He held a beautiful cup in his hands and said, "To me, this cup is already broken. I enjoy it. I drink tea from it. I admire its pattern. But I know that its nature is to be broken. So when one day I brush it with my elbow and it falls and shatters into pieces, I won't cry. I will say, of course, because in my mind, it was already broken." This sounds terrible to the Western mind. What? Consider my children already dead. Consider my marriage already destroyed. Number. It means acknowledging impermanence. When you understand that the person next to you is not your property, but a temporary fellow traveler, a guest who can leave at any second, due to death, an argument, or simply because they changed, you begin to cherish every moment with them 1,000,000 times more. Attachment says, "You are mine forever." This is a lie that breeds the fear of loss. Wisdom says, "We are together only right now." This is the truth that breeds gratitude and freedom. How do you practice this in real life? How to be a surgeon of the spirit. Imagine a friend comes to you. They have a tragedy. They lost money, family, health. Level 1, pity, sentimentality. You sit down next to them, hug them, and start sobbing together. Oh God, how terrible, how unfair life is. You both fall into the pit. An hour later, you are both exhausted, and no one feels better. Level 2, indifference, pseudo-spirituality. You say, well, that's your karma. Everything is an illusion. Let it go. This is cruelty. A person in pain cannot hear philosophy. You just closed your heart so you wouldn't feel pain. Level 3, compassion, bodhicitta. You are fully present. You hear every word. You feel their pain, but you don't drown in it. You have a core of calm inside. You are a rock that a drowning person can grab onto. You don't say, poor thing. You say, or broadcast without words, I see your pain. It is really hard, but I also see your strength. You will get through this, and I will be nearby while you stand up. This is the difference. Pity sees the person as weak and broken. Compassion sees the person suffering, but believes in their Buddha potential. Pity looks down. Compassion looks in the eyes. The hardest test of non-attachment is allowing people to make their own mistakes. We, especially parents, want to cushion every fall. We want to live life for our children, for our partners. It seems to us that if we worry and control enough, we will save them from trouble. But this is the illusion of control. To love without attachment means to say, I love you, and therefore I allow you to have your experience. Even if this experience is painful, I will not steal your lessons from you. But if you fall, I will offer a hand. This requires colossal courage. It is much easier to forbid, to close off, to impose one's opinion. Standing aside and watching a loved one step on a rake is torture for the ego, but this is respect for someone else's destiny. There is another important aspect, empathy fatigue or burnout. In the modern world, we are overloaded with information about suffering. Wars, diseases, disasters live on air. If you try to pass all this through your heart using the attachment method, you will burn out in a week. Your psyche will slam shut, and you will become a cynic. The Bodhisattva method is different. Imagine you are a mirror. A mirror reflects fire, but does not burn. A mirror reflects dirt, but does not get dirty. You allow the information to pass through you, triggering a response to help, but you don't let it get stuck inside. Tonglen breathing is an ancient technique that works with this. You inhale the black smoke of someone else's suffering. You pass it through your heart, where it burns up your own egoism, and you exhale white light of peace and love. You work like a filter. You do not accumulate the radiation of pain in yourself. You transform it. Understand, Attachment is always about me. How will I be without him? Why did they treat me this way? Compassion is about him. What does he need right now? Sometimes he needs you to hug him, and sometimes for you to leave him alone, and sometimes for you to tell the hard truth. Attached love is afraid to tell the truth so as not to spoil the relationship. True compassion can be stern, like a surgeon's scalpel, if it saves a life. Zen masters hit students with a stick, not out of malice, but out of great compassion, to knock them out of the sleep of illusions. I want to end with an image. Imagine you are holding a bird in your hands. If you squeeze your hands too tight, attachment, control, fear, you will strangle the bird. It will die. If you open your hands completely and get distracted, indifference, the bird will fly away or fall, and you will lose connection. The middle way is to hold your palms open like a cup. The bird sits on your palm. It is free. It can fly away at any moment, but it feels your warmth, your support, your safe foundation, and so it stays. And if it flies away, you will admire its flight, not cry over empty hands, because your hands were never empty. They have always been filled with your own love. You cannot lose what does not belong to you, but you also cannot lose what is your essence. Love is not what you get from others. Love is what you are. Become the sun, shine, and allow the planets to rotate as they are destined.